Welcome to today's explainer. So we're diving into the absolute, ultimate truth of power and divine decree today. To start us off, I just want you to literally picture yourself standing on the edge of this massive mountain cliff right as the sun is setting. You're looking out over an endless horizon, just watching the sky shift from bright gold into this deep, infinite darkness. In that exact moment, you realize the sheer, awe-inspiring scale of the universe and, well, kind of how small our daily anxieties really are, right? That feeling of absolute wonder, that recognition of a higher power, that's exactly what we're going to unpack today through two incredibly powerful verses. All right, let's jump right in.
So, the passage we're exploring begins with this super commanding, majestic declaration. Verse 26 of Shura al Imran opens up with, "Say, O Allah, owner of sovereignty." It immediately sets this deeply emotional, almost cinematic tone, doesn't it? It's not just a statement, it's a total recalibration of how we view the world. Right from the very first word, the text establishes the absolute, completely unchallenged authority of the Creator. It totally sweeps away any confusion about who's actually running the cosmos.
When we anchor our journey in the actual source text, engaging with these exact profound words alongside their beautiful translation and commentary, it completely changes our perspective. These lines capture a timeless message that has literally echoed through centuries. Grounding ourselves in these specific verses lets us truly appreciate the immense weight of what's being conveyed here. We're going to break down the profound themes hidden within these paragraphs, unpacking everything from power and honor to nature, and finally, provision.
Section 1. The Illusion of Earthly Power.
You know, we live in a world completely obsessed with control. We look at massive empires, powerful politicians, billionaire CEOs, and we think to ourselves, wow, that is real power. But to actually understand the illusion of human power, we've got to look at this absolutely crucial Arabic term found in the text, Malik al-Mulk. It translates to the absolute owner of all sovereignty and dominion. Notice the word absolute there. Sure, an earthly king might rule a country, but he doesn't own the sun, he doesn't own the rain, he doesn't even own his own heartbeat. Malik al-Mulk means that all these earthly kingdoms are really just a fleeting illusion. Whatever power a human being holds, it's merely a borrowed crown, a crown that appears and disappears strictly at his will.
Now, the text specifically contrasts two fascinating actions. On one side, we have tutil mulka, giving power, and on the other, tanzi'ul mulka, taking it away. The translation explicitly states that the Almighty gives a portion of the kingdom to whomever he wills, and, just as easily, snatches it away from whomever he wills. It's not a struggle. I mean, there's no political campaign or battlefield required in the heavens, right? It is an effortless shift. The exact same hand that grants authority can strip it away in a fraction of a second.
Section 2. Honor, disgrace, and goodness.
Okay, so it's one thing to talk about kings and grand empires, but what about us? Let's shift our focus to the deeply personal impact of this divine control. Because how does this apply to human dignity, to our societal status, or, those modern anxieties we all deal with every single day? The text continues with this piercing truth. You grant honor to whom you will, and you humiliate whom you will. In the source commentary, the concept of izzat, which means this deep honor, respect, and dignity, is entirely decoupled from our bank accounts or our job titles. We spend so much time terrified of losing our social standing, getting fired, or just facing public embarrassment. But this brilliant phrase, it totally neutralizes those fears. It reminds us that society doesn't dictate your worth. The one who truly controls status, the one who genuinely elevates or humbles a person, is the Creator alone.
And honestly, this brings up the ultimate comfort found in this passage. The verse follows up that talk of taking away power and humbling people with this incredibly beautiful guarantee, "In your hand is all good." The source text really emphasizes that every single kind of goodness is in his control. So the crucial takeaway here is this. If you lose earthly power or if you face a huge setback, it is never just some random punishment. Because all goodness rests entirely in his hands, even a painful loss is part of a perfectly capable, deeply beneficial divine plan.
Section 3. The Cosmic Cycles.
Moving from the human scale, like our jobs, our statuses, all the way up to the awe-inspiring scale of the universe, the text describes this magnificent transition from darkness to light. Just imagine the visual of a deep, dark night gently yielding to the dawn. A golden nur, this pure light, begins to descend and spread across the horizon as night turns into day. The verse talks about causing the night to enter the day. And guys, this isn't just a poetic metaphor. It's illustrating the seamless divine mechanism of the actual cosmos. It's a planetary rotation so smooth and so perfect that we just completely take it for granted every single morning. This source commentary goes on to explicitly elaborate on how this exact process creates our seasons. The text details how entering the night into the day makes the day longer in certain seasons, and entering the day into the night makes the night longer in others. This just completely highlights his supreme, meticulous control over the entire universe. The mechanics of summer and winter, the precise lengthening and shortening of shadows, it is all a manifestation of the exact same sovereignty that governs those human empires we talked about earlier.
Section 4. Life, Death, and Provision. So, as we arrive at this final segment, the text moves into this truly miraculous metaphor that touches on both physical biology and our own spiritual existence. Think about this incredible contrast, bringing the living out of the lifeless and the lifeless out of the living. On a physical level, you can apply this so beautifully to nature. Think about it. A seed looks like a tiny dead stone, right? Yet from it erupts this huge, vibrant, living tree. And then in autumn, that living tree drops dead leaves right back to the earth. But it's also a deeply profound metaphor for our spiritual awakenings. A heart that feels entirely cold and lifeless can suddenly be brought vividly to life, filled with purpose and faith, guided by that exact same divine hand.
And the whole passage culminates in this awe-inspiring conclusion, and you give provision to whom you will without account. The source text refers to this as bishumar rizq, meaning countless, absolutely limitless sustenance. We live our entire lives so confined by budgets, spreadsheets, human mathematics. We always think resources are scarce. But this promise, it reminds us that divine sustenance flows infinitely. The absolute owner of sovereignty provides in ways that are just completely beyond the limitations of human logic.
So, we're wrapping up today's explainer with a question I really want you to deeply reflect on. If the master of the universe, the one who effortlessly strips kings of their crowns, the one who pulls life from a dead seed, and who turns the darkest, longest night into a bright new day, if he is in absolute control, what makes you think he cannot bring light to your personal struggles? The exact same power that guides the stars is writing your story. Keep that profound thought with you today. I really hope this detailed review has brought you as much clarity and peace as it has for me. Keep seeking knowledge, keep looking for the light, and we'll see you next time.